Thank goodness I've been wearing this for the last 23 years. Okay. Alrighty. Hi. How's it going? I'm Miles. We've never met, but hi. Hi, America. How you doing? Seem a little upset. Something happened recently? You seem like you need a little bit of a pep talk there, bud. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's gonna be a lot of tough love in it, but I think you're more ready than you think you are. So I guess that's why I'm here to announce that I'm running for president.
No, wait, hold it. That's way too fast. You ain't earned that yet. President of what?
Of the United States of America? Are you serious? For legal reasons, no. Big joke. Okay, whatever, but I mean, like, didn't we just do this shit a month ago? Haven't you been watching this show the last 6 or 8 seasons? Don't you know what kind of a society we live in? We are now constantly in election season every waking moment of our lives until we're all dead. Plus, like, I'll get there. It'll all make sense when we're done. But, also, first policy point, shorter fucking elections. Okay, whoa. Hang on. Why are you cursing so much? Don't know. Autism, probably. Autism, probably President 2028. Look, I don't know what to tell you. It happens more when I get excited, alright? All I know is I gotta apologize to my grandma a lot. And she's definitely gonna watch this, so, sorry, Grandma. Sorry about all the swearing. But, you know, also, why are those words bad? Who told you that? They ever tell you anything else just because their parents told them that? You know, we'll get there. Don't worry about it. Look, this is how I talk. Sorry. So, judge me not by the color of my language, but the content of my message. Oh, please. That's like the least disingenuously a white politician's used that in 60 years. Okay, sure thing, pal, but like, who am I? Like, you don't know your own name, or... No, I know, I'm Clint Strawswood. Of course I know my own name, it's in the script. I mean, like, if this is a presidential campaign speech, why am I here? Why is Clint Strawswood? If you must. Why is a literal straw man? Look, could you just get to the point already? I ain't got all day. Bro, this is YouTube. I know how this shit works. A straw man is a literary device. So, you know, it was quicker to write, easier to make it funny, just generally more fun for me if I gotta do this shit. I mean, besides, if you think this is unhinged, then you should have seen the guy that did this gimmick in front of a crowd. Like, at least you're physically here. The dude just put a damn folding chair in the middle of a stage in front of thousands of people, and then talked to an empty folding chair as if there was a person in it. And then he sat in the chair to respond to, I was going to say himself, but really to nobody, because now he was sitting in the chair. It's real weird. We all thought it was weird at the time. At least, you know, I'm not going to act like you're a real person, unless, you know, it's funnier too. So, just to be clear, you're sitting here having an argument with yourself for the whole world to see, and you think that that's somehow not unhinged. Oh, I never said that. I said I'm doing the gimmick better. Having an argument with yourself is maybe the most American thing I could possibly do. Well, this'll never work. Not with that attitude, it won't. I mean, come on. We've done movies president. We're doing TV president again. YouTube president 2028. I mean, besides, you know as well as I do, America hates career politicians. We're gonna get another goddamn celebrity if, you know, some working asshole doesn't step the fuck up. And I mean, after this non-stop barrel of laughs cavalcade of wackiness comedy tour, who could possibly have a lower bar to clear than some working asshole nobody's ever heard of? Wait, why don't you trust President Insert Name here? What are you talking about? I ain't trust the last guy either. Why does anyone trust any of these assholes? Come on. Haven't y'all ever considered maybe the only reason we ain't have Emperor Obama is because, like, y'all were paying real close attention? No. Okay, me neither. At least not till I wrote this joke a month ago. But I mean, like, who's the last dude that actually ran for, like, at all the right reasons? A Roosevelt? Fucking Eisenhower? I'm like, that's kind of dependent on whether or not you think NATO's cool. I don't know. Who the fuck knows? All I know is, more times than not, anybody that wants to be president of America is somebody that America should absolutely never trust. But, don't you want to be president of America? No! Oh my god. In the words of Frank Zappa, this will only bring me fame and glory and an awful lot of work. None of this shit's gonna be fun. You know, if I actually won this bullshit, they'd never let me drive a car again the rest of my life. The fuck is that? I like my privacy. Like, I ain't use my real name online unless I absolutely have to. This shit actually works. Y'all never leave my ass alone the rest of my natural life. That alone makes this the worst possible thing I could be doing. But like, oh my god, I can't imagine like the kind of shit that I'm gonna end up having on my conscience if like I would be president. Because like, why the fuck do you think Carter spent the rest of his life building fucking houses? Damn, man. Shit. Anybody who thinks they should be the one doing this shit is 91 times out of 100 a total sociopath. But don't you think that you should be president? No, I'm not qualified for this shit. Oh my god, I'm in the dog shit business. You know, other than that, I just had like a bunch of fucking food service jobs that all sucked. But you know, you learn how to deal with impatient, petulant assholes all the time. So I mean, like, sure, I read a lot and shit, but like, I don't know how to run a country. But I mean, you know, none of these idiots know how to run a country. Regardless, I assure you, you will never find a more honest politician than some poor asshole who is extremely aware of their real chances of winning a national election. At least, you know, with regards to what that person actually believes. Okay, but if you don't actually want to do this, shouldn't I really be looking for a different YouTube president? Look, none of you said that you wanted to do it, and I'm an extremely, okay, fine, if none of you want to, then I'll do it myself, and do it extremely fucking correctly, kind of a person. Besides, let's be honest, the best case scenario for this is that Trump makes the Republican-controlled Congress just do all this shit for us, possibly as a joke. And I mean, come on, Mr. Trumpsident, don't you want all this fucking fame and glory I don't want? Or do you want my low-rent, long-haired, foul-mouthed ass to have it? You know as much as I do. It would be so funny if you made all those sniveling weasels begging for your constant approval vote for, like, lobbying reform and raising the minimum wage and, I don't know, maybe some health care for we the people. Bro, you'd be the hero of the new American century. I mean, besides, this second-term shit, they come to you with money in their hand. They offered you. You didn't ask them. You wasn't knocking someone's door down. You were running from that. When you got out, you were in that. You were already through that. You'd had that. You had the White House. You've been to the White House. You're going back to the White House. You've got it all, man. And I can't help but imagine you're looking around yourself right now and thinking, this is a bigger jail than I just got out of. You don't want to take your time putting out all the fires they're going to start with each other every day. I mean, you got a golf course and a mansion and presumably 10 or 15 lady friends. What the heck you want to go off into, go do a bunch of neocon bullshit for, man? For what? Money? You got all the money in the world. You're the president, man. You run the free world, guy. You decide who does what and where they do it at. What are you going to run around like you actually give a shit about dismantling the administrative state for, man? For what? For some corporate lapdog's money? You make the money, man. You roll the nickels. The game is yours. You deal the cards. So yeah, I mean, just feel free to do all this shit for us if you think that it would be as funny as we do. But yeah, I mean, he's not gonna. I mean, and that sucks because I would like a cap on, you know, credit card interest. But I think at this point it's safe to say he's just as much another politician as anybody else I've ever seen in that chair. He's not gonna wear that dick-shaped potato costume he said he would. Dude just doesn't get humor. Yeah, but What do you expect from the only guy Jimmy the Gent ain't get after Lufthansa? Please, are you done? Thank you. I just want to make something clear. So you're saying that the best case scenario is a bunch of cockamamie horse shit that is definitely not going to happen. Yeah, and the worst case scenario is some creeper causing me to die in Minecraft, IRL, of 27 self-inflicted gunshot wounds to the back of the head, in a mysterious plane crash and resulting tire fire. Oh, there's more. In some recently foreclosed home's multi-story parking garage's darkest corner? I don't remember writing all that. But I mean, if that happens, then y'all got to deal with climate change and not me. So win-win, as far as I'm concerned. But also if that happens, I would become more powerful than they could possibly imagine. Besides, I know what happens to people that say all this shit out loud, too loud, Yeah, sure, that's who I'm going with. Let's go with that. You don't know who that is, and I look less like a presumptuous fuck. So, wait, I can't help but notice that neither of those scenarios involved this actually working. Duh, that's because pulling this off and doing an eensy bit of socialism as a Republican from the Midwest is the funniest case scenario. The American dream. Republican? Socialism? Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll get there. You trust me, don't you? You trust me? Don't you? Not really? Good. You're listening? Keep it up. We'll get there. Now, let's play a quick game, shall we? Who was the greatest ever president? Guess. No. 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 Good guess, but no, because the answer is James K. Polk. Everyone is wrong except for my old philosophy professor, Dr. Professor McCready, who I stole this bit from, because the answer is James K. Polk. I honestly don't even know if I like any of the shit that he did. I mean, it's practically a hero by modern standards. Wait, didn't he tell me I didn't want to go around saying that in front of people? What do you mean? What was that? What do you mean? You don't even know if you like his policies? No, I mean, I don't know enough about his presidency to know which of his policies I like. Why do I think there's something you're not telling us right now? Now, why would you ever think that there was something I might be deliberately omitting about an American president from the 1840s? How was he on slavery? Not great. Bad on labor issues too? Wait, is that the same thing? Okay, well, whatever. Look, I'm basing this on one metric and one metric alone, and that's when he was nominated. He said, if you elect me, I'll get all this shit done in one term, and I'll fuck off. And then he got a bunch of shit done in one term, and he fucked off. And not only did he fuck off, but he fucking died 6 months later. So maybe he really did understand the assignment. The point is, one term's as much time as we really need to pull all this shit off. If we get extremely lucky, I mean, we could make America great again in a single presidential term. Is it terribly likely? Oh God, no. But we could be done by 2032 if we, don't fuck around. And in the words of General Washington, oh God, please God, don't make me, please, are you listening? Please don't make me do 2 terms of this shit. I'm fucking begging you. Okay. I will if all this shit's just gonna fall apart immediately, but I wanted to be clear. I wanted to go home. That's a direct quote. But, between the facts that they are not expecting us to get our shit together at all, let alone quickly, this is the moment the working Americans have been looking for to take America back to the future from our modern corporate aristocracy. I really believe that, and by the end of this video, you'll know why. But let's get down to business. We, the people, have been lied to time after time after time. They said you had to be a lifelong politician to become president. That was a fucking lie. They said, guys, Change has to happen slowly, okay? We're working on it. That was a fucking lie. They said, we're sorry, but after we crunch the numbers this quarter, we can only afford to give a raise to the top 3 people in the company. And the shareholders. So that was a fucking lie. You know, at this point, I think it's safe to say that for decades now, our Congress has been bought and paid for by these people. Maybe even the whole time. The thing is, we hire these assholes, they're our employees, and they're fucking us. We, the people, are the government. All of this shit only exists because we, the people, allow it to. And we can change that at our leisure if enough of us desire to. Democrat Party, you're cooked. At first I thought y'all been cooked since 2009 when, Obama ran on hope and change, and then first fucking thing he does is just bail out the banks and let working Americans lose their homes. But really, y'all been cooked since Nixon, haven't you? Reagan just burnt you to a crisp. But right-wing podcasters like Joe Rogan normalized Trump. Being fucking president normalized Trump. Joe Rogan is not a right-wing podcast. Joe Rogan is a populist podcast. And it's not his fault that all the interesting cranks are on the right. Because y'all ain't been populist since fucking LBJ. But this time, oh my God, there are so many reasons, and I can't help but feel like y'all have no idea why. We went too woke. No, you fucking ding-dongs. You played their fucking culture war game their fucking way. On top of that, your policies are mid. Don't get me wrong, some of them are okay. You might see some of them later, but on the whole, they're mid. Which actually wouldn't be so bad if your marketing didn't suck. Hey America, we asked the drug companies real nicely to stop charging you so much money. And what the fuck are you doing? Even when you get one over on them, you have to bend the fucking knee? We asked these motherfucking leeches to stop stealing from you. Off the top of my head, is that so fucking hard? Holy shit, just do what us regular assholes do. Just give them a heads up text at 2 a.m. Hey, BTW, I got a motherfuck you in the press. Sorry, TTYL, BBY, less than 3. They'll fucking understand. They know how this fucking game is played. Actually, it's called messaging, not marketing. Holy fucking shit, shut the fuck up, nobody cares. I'm not using your bullshit fucking parlance that you came up with just to lie to yourself about what it is that you're doing. But this is also what America can't stand about you. You're a goddamn pedantic nightmare about terms and definitions, fucking silent about anything that might cost your corporate overlords even 1 red cent in honor of working Americans. Don't give me this horse shit about opportunity economies or subsidizing new small businesses. The fuck does anyone care about starting a small business when they can barely put fucking food on the table in the first fucking place? From down here, y'all are caught in a bubble. You've lost touch completely with the issues that are actually affecting working Americans. And you have no idea how to deal with people who don't play by your bullshit fucking rules. That's okay. It's okay, guys. Kid from the back of the class is here to show you how it's done. You remember me, don't you? I was the one bored out of his fucking mind. Would rather be doing anything else than be there, than interact with you assholes. But stick their hand up to answer every single fucking question that y'all idiot front of the class teacher's pet motherfuckers couldn't, because otherwise, oh my fucking God, we're gonna be sitting here for fucking ever if somebody doesn't move this fucking class along. Y'all need a little lesson in being a fucking delinquent, because holy shit, old Joe Biden is time announcing he's not going to run again, even though that's what he said he was going to do in the first fucking place, had a whole administration full of fucking hall monitors. And Republican Party, don't get too comfortable. Y'all going back in the fryer after being out under the heat lamps for too long? Do you get that metaphor? Because your policies suck. Holy shit. Talking about going back to the 80s. The 1880s. No, that's the one of these that isn't a joke. I'm just saying it funny. Look, before trickle-down economics was called trickle-down economics, it was known as horse and sparrow economics. Oh, why is that? Because one eats like a horse and the other eats like a sparrow? Oh, America. Oh, sweet, sweet America. I assure you, that is what literally everyone thinks when they first hear that. No, the comparison is that the sparrows are eating the seeds out of the horse's shit. Yep, that's what they think about us, America. And it's caused nearly every recession in living memory. So anyway, yeah, Republican Party, your policies suck. Holy shit, but your marketing... Honestly, A+. Fuck you. Great job. Gonna steal everything I can. I mean, without feeling like I'm a slimy piece of shit. But hey, I got a pretty active imagination. The point is, neither of you two fuckers are ever doing anything for working Americans. And I'm sorry, but at this point, I need a quick history aside to explain why I feel so strongly about this. I promise there's a point. Bear with me. So, look, General Washington, there are two people in history worthy of being referred to as general when they no longer hold the command. Their names are Washington and Tubman. So, look, General Washington, he had an army. Oh, thanks, genius. Tell me something I don't know. Yeah. Shut up. Look, General Washington had an army, but this army was not like our military today. Today's military is not loyal to their superior officers per se, but both the officers and those they command are loyal to the Constitution of these United States and by extension, the American people. General Washington's army was loyal to General Washington. They would have gone to the ends of the earth for that man. They would have moved hell or high water if he'd asked them to. And they fucking begged him to make himself king of America. And instead of doing a Napoleon, instead of doing a Cromwell, instead of doing an Octavian, instead of doing a Caesar, and instead of doing a Sulla, he said, fuck that. I'm going home. Everyone go home. And that's why he's the fucking father of this country. And that's why it pisses me off that y'all do nothing but just keep yourselves in fucking power. Because Congress is constantly lying to America about what they are capable of, and the national corporate media is their mouthpiece. They've told you the left was the problem with America. They've told you the right was the problem with America. They've told you centrists are. They've told you uninformed voters are. They've told you it's too many abortions. They've told you it's too many guns. And they've told you it's Christians. And they've told you it's Muslims. It's been Satanists, atheists, gays, and lesbians. Straight people, trans people, women and men. Black, white, Middle Eastern, Russian people too. Chinese, Japanese, Native American. Is it communists, conservatives, fascists, or liberals? Is it Antifa? or anarchists, or unions, or mafiosos. It's cops, or it's protesters, or alcohol, or the border. It's kneeling, it's learning, it's weed, and it's porn too. It's been being traditional, it's been being a nonconformist, it's been books, it's been music, it's been violence in media, it's been violence in video games. They told you it's explicit lyrical content. They told you it's the national fucking debt. They told you Trump was the problem. They've told you Biden was the problem. They told you your neighbors are the problem. They told you your family is the problem. And I bet they've even told you that you are the problem. Because the problem is fucking wealth inequality, and the national corporate media refuses to talk in facts because they are owned, whether outright or through sponsorship, by the same people who have bought and paid for the majority of Congress. Can't you see it? I know you can feel it. It's all in the air. The people who aren't paying us are paying our employees to fuck us. Do you know what eats republics and shits dictatorships? It's fucking wealth inequality. And the national corporate media will continue to ignore reality until they have absolutely zero choice. The only way they will ever start talking about wage disparity or wealth inequality is if we absolutely refuse to shut the fuck up about it. Corporate media will only talk about wealth inequality if they think they absolutely have to. There is a duality to the phrase, the revolution will not be televised, and the billionaires and the corpos of Wall Street, as well as their corporate media co-conspirators in this modern business plot, they know this. I mean, holy shit. Look at the way they're clutching their pearls about fucking public sentiment regarding the healthcare CEO shooter. Oh my god, he shot a man dead in the street and you're cheering him? Give me a fucking break. America watched a video of a dude getting murked by another dude, and then 99% of us thought, I've never in my life felt more safe in my security with a killer loose on the streets. I mean, I don't know if the guy that got in custody is the dude in the video with the gun. Like, I ain't a jury of 12 of his peers or some shit, but like, corporate media on some real bullshit acting like he's America's first murderous thirst trap. America. Y'all seriously think they forgot about that guy? Oh, crap. What was his name? Oh yeah, it was the fucking original Public Enemy #1, John fucking Dillinger. Pretty Boy Floyd was practically Robin fucking Hood as far as we the people were concerned. I know y'all remember these dudes. They did hella numbers for your newspaper uncles and daddies. God forbid CEOs might be like 1% as afraid for their lives as children in a school. Oh God, won't somebody please think of the CEOs? No, wait, don't. You might think about how much they make just making our lives as miserable as is humanly fucking possible. Putting it simply, the moment the media starts talking about raising wages and wealth inequality in like serious terms, that's the moment we know that the oligarchs are scared fucking shitless and that we've got them by the balls. At that point, they will say and do anything to get us to stop, including maybe even paying us more, possibly pretending to fix shit to make it look like they care. See guys, we're cool. If it's on TV, it's not the revolution, so don't worry about it. If anything like that happens, or if like you see my dumb ass, my filthy fucking mouth on their programming, that's when you know we got them by the balls. Do not believe their lies. Because all I know is if you look at the history of this country, working Americans only ever get anything by doing a big old grassroots. So, I mean, if we don't try, if we don't find a way to do better than this, who will? But let's get into it, all right? Here's my proposal. I call it a bunch of fucking populism. A bunch of fucking populism. That's the name. Get it right. And a bunch of fucking populism means we, the people, need shorter fucking elections. You know, everyone does primary day same fucking day. Probably like 6 weeks before election day, right? Just make it, just compact, make them both federal holidays, make sure everyone's got an easy way to vote ahead of time if they want, make voter fraud and voter suppression more difficult by automatically registering all eligible Americans, probably, providing voters with one or more forms of confirmation when their vote is counted. I don't know. I think so anyway. Moving on. A bunch of fucking populism means that we need legislation to cap the number of local and maybe national news media that any one entity can own. Reinstate the fairness doctrine and probably Glass-Steagall while we're at it, since y'all seem so intent on doing another 2008. Oh man, sorry, slip of the tongue. Might as well undo all the bullshit done to the Wagner Act too while we're at it. And, federal price gouging regulations. See, told you some of them are good. And, conservatives, I'm sorry, I have to have a little chat with the left for a second. Don't worry, you'll think the whole premise is just hilarious. So stick with us. But yeah, look, okay, so to those on the left calling for the creation of a real leftist media company. See, they stopped listening. All right. What are you guys doing? Are you out of your minds? Your solution is, we need another media company, except this time it's ours. Like, anything not to go outside and actually talk to people, huh? Guys, no. We start a super PAC, and instead of running fucking ads nobody wants to watch, we use the money like Tammany fucking Hall. Yeah, okay, you're going to jail, buddy. Dude, no, not the crimes, come on, helping keep people fed, helping people keep the lights on, helping people stay housed, helping families keep their farms, guerrilla welfare. You can't use those like that. Oh my God, are you kidding? Yes, we fucking can. Have you seen these things? Of course we can. What are they going to do? Campaign finance reform for us? Lamau. Because we need a bunch of fucking populism. Which means we need campaign finance reform. No more super PACs, please. Just totally reform what is lobbying. Definitely no more the corporations just straight up writing legislation. It should probably be a real bitch to go from, the private sector to running a 3-letter agency. Please, no more congressional stock trading, for the love of God. And honestly, on that note, if we're gonna expect, nationally elected officials to, keep a house in DC and in their district, then we should probably pay them more, to the point where taking bribes is just fucking offensive and repugnant, instead of just they gotta make money somehow. Government employees too, not just congressional people, people in the government should actually get paid for their, I don't know, crazy. But a bunch of fucking populism also means that we need better subsidies for raising children. We need guaranteed ma and paternal leave, paid vacation time, personal wellness days, and for the second time in the 17 years, holy shit, since I left fucking high school, we need a raise on the minimum wage. I'm just fucking with you. Minimum wage is $0. And a bunch of fucking populism means that we need a New Deal style jobs program, including but not limited to building housing and other buildings for the general good of the public. High-speed internet in every home in America should make it easier for people to travel across America by building a national high-speed passenger railway network. Improving existing local and regional public transportation networks, and assisting in the creation of new routes in ways which bring communities together in fellowship and in celebration of our shared American culture and values, and the wonderfully different ways in which we express them. And on that note, I think we should also bring back the arts programs the New Deal funded. Yeah, me personally, I think the greatest cultural legacy of the New Deal is the treasure trove that is the regular working Americans' oral histories. There's no way to oversell, in my opinion, just how special that is. It's like the Internet Archive Wayback Machine, but for the Great Depression. See, most of recorded history is done by and or for the historical 1%, all things considered. So for me, having these records and recordings of people who live their lives for all intents and purposes, all due respect, at the bottom end of society, explaining how they lived, why they live that way in their own words, that's honestly really special to me. But hey, we'll be here all night if I let myself, and I can see the runtime down there. So let's continue on with a bunch of fucking populism. All right, I know some of you are probably waiting for this one way or another, so let's get it over with, shall we? A bunch of fucking populism means that we need to codify Roe v. Wade. Maybe even do a 1 period. Congress shall make no laws restricting in any way the performance of any medical procedure that has the capability to preserve human life. Kind of a deal. Hey, no way, I'm against abortions. 3/4 of the states have to vote yes on an amendment, right? Look, if you have a problem with abortion because you're a devout Christian, I'm sorry. I have a lot to say to you besides this, so you're gonna have to wait. Your time's later. Hang on. But if you're developmentally 7 years old and you think it's funny or cool to say your body, my choice, then might I remind you, and I happen to anecdotally be very aware that there's a lot of overlap in these two things. If you're like me, and I know I am, then like 80% of American males, they stole your foreskin. That's not the same thing. Yeah, no shit. I still don't get a say in the matter. First thing out the womb, they went whap with the umbilical cord and then whap with the dick. I mean, did they ask you if you wanted part of your dick cut off? And that shit ain't even doctrinal for, like, my family. I mean, shit, at least I thought Paul was pretty clear about that shit. I mean, but really, they ain't even do it because of, like, religion or some shit. My daddy did it to me because his daddy did it to him. And my granddad did it to my dad because his dad did it to him. My great-granddad did it to my granddad because his dad did it to him. And my great-granddad, or my great-great-granddad did it because, some fucking weirdo who really loved enemas told him that it would stop his son from masturbating. Yeah, how'd that one work out for you, America? Jesus. I mean, at least the Jews get to be God's chosen people about it. Y'all just got a little boy that still touches his dick. So yeah, anyway, stay tuned for the real fireworks later, but also maybe don't test me. I could probably make the case for a federal, bodily autonomy statute that doesn't conflict with the First Amendment, and I'm sure I could do it funnier than y'all do your bullshit. Don't forget, I know the number 1 rule of trolling: first person to care is a faggot. Hey, so hang on, I got a question. What, about bodily autonomy? Kinda. I mean, why do I feel like this is all just gonna be a bunch of lefty bullshit? I don't know about all that, but I mean, if you think about it, for all intents and purposes, and for their time, these guys telling a king to fuck off was some pretty lefty bullshit. They thought, this guy was on some pretty lefty bullshit when he wrote this little book on capitalism and coined the term the invisible hand of the free market. And, this guy was seen as such a fucking lefty that a bunch of states didn't even put him on the ballot for the election. And then when he won anyway, they tried to leave the union before he even took office. So I don't know. I think maybe some things just kind of look like lefty bullshit when you're on one side of them, like in history. But also, I can assure you, there will be plenty of lefties out there who will think that I'm not going far enough. I mean, I could be the result of Karl Marx and Jesus Christ doing the fusion dance, and they would still be like, McGlasson's basically a conservative. Fucking allergic to incremental progress or some shit. I don't know. Actually, we're out here talking about how the movement should really be leaderless. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't actually know the origin of that term, but I kind of feel like prevailing sentiment that I see about it online is the result of a psyop or some shit. Because, like, to me, the implication is not, of a movement with 0 leaders, nor with 1 leader. It's of a movement with multiple leaders. Whatever. I don't really want to get too deep into this rabbit hole right now. There will and should be more of a speaking up soon. At least, that's kind of the point of this. Because obviously I can't do this alone. What can just one of us do with all that money and power trying to crush us into roaches? Do you fucking love this platform as much as I do? Do you have a really firm grasp on the problems your local area is dealing with, and maybe even how to effectively fix them? Does the idea of running for national office instill that kind of internal dread that says, yeah, I mean, I could, but I definitely hate it the whole time? If you said yes to all 3 of those, then I can't stress this enough. You're fucking perfect. You're the real patriots. And we have to be the ones with the guts to work for some real change. But I know y'all ain't gonna want to call it this. So that brings me to which party I think us working schmucks should run under. I think that we should call it the National Union. The National Union? That's right, the National Union. The Party of Lincoln. Look it up. 100% success rate in presidential elections. Look it up. Yeah, that didn't exactly go well for the last guy, did it? Or the country, maybe, for that matter? Yeah, did you hear what I said earlier about the fucking tire fire? Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with half of that. Otherwise, do you need me to say out loud I can pick a better VP than Andrew Johnson? Because that bar seems low enough already. And, I may be in autism, but one thing I do know about people is when they do or do not understand the words that are coming out of their own mouths. Anyway, we're going to call it the National Union, and we're going to create a new third-party ticket. Yeah, I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, whole thing was actually a really big joke. That's because it's actually an unofficial, unaffiliated caucus. Look, if you're interested in some, ranked choice type of voting, then, I think it's reasonable for me to assume that you also think that this, bullshit team sports, party political theater nonsense is, played the fuck out. However, we also have to be wary of splitting votes with the major parties in a general election. And I don't think it's necessarily wise to count on Americans being willing to step out of their normal party comfort zones. So while independent can be a viable option, I think if your congressional reps aren't interested in doing some real shit for working folks, everyone should really consider running for House or Senate in the primary against the incumbent in your area. I mean, first and foremost, do you know how many of these idiots run unopposed in their primaries? I mean, if you can get the signatures to get on the ballot, you've got a real shot, in a lot of these House races especially. And on a related note, if these guys are in your area, they seem like they got the right idea. Not affiliated, but that's why we all got to start getting ourselves known to the public and our potential constituents, especially right now. So if you're running as a Democrat, congratulations. You are now a Roosevelt Democrat. If you're running as a Republican, congratulations. You are now a Roosevelt Republican. Look, it's not that I'm really trying to do all this shit as a Republican, per se. I've never registered with a party. And, I understand the likelihood of someone going from nobody to president in 4 fucking years. I might be a fucking idiot, but I ain't stupid. But also, I live in a definitely not gerrymandered blue House district in a red state that doesn't have a Senate race for another 4 years. Even Mayor of Transportation Buttigieg moved to Michigan, and I honestly can't say I blame him. I think that's what everyone above a certain latitude in this state really aspires to. So I honestly don't know what party, if any, I would run with at this time. But on some level, I would definitely like to get the signatures and run as a Republican and just dare them not to let me. Then again, maybe the DNC wants to get their heads out of their asses, be a party for we the people again. Maybe run a bunch of autists on a platform of fixing the federal fucking government. Come on, guys. Put me in, coach. 50 state sweep. That's all I'm saying. You're delusional. Look, I've read this script, and you're gonna have to be more specific. How do you expect anyone to run as a pro-choice Republican? Oh, please. please. It's super easy. All right, fine. Christians, we'll do this now. Now's your time. I'm going to do a politics just for you. Brothers, sisters, I, like many of you, find great cause for concern about abortions in this country. But we must remember also that it is written, do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. And it weighs heavily on my heart that we cannot believe our great nation to be acting in a manner befitting the teachings of Christ the Redeemer, when so many expectant mothers are losing their lives to treatable complications due to poorly written laws and eye for an eye punishments against the doctors that could help them. They weigh heavily on me, the words of Christ. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. And if Christ could ask the Father, while still on the cross, to forgive those who were murdering him, then we should be able to do likewise unto the least of these. However, this does not also mean that we should do nothing about the number of non-medically necessary abortions being performed in America. And to that end, I believe that if we raise wages for working families and create better subsidies for having and raising children, that we will go further in curbing the number of non-medically necessary abortions in America through positively reinforcing incentives than we ever could through condemnation. And I believe that we would be making an investment in our children and in our children's children that would bring an enormously beneficial return, making America stronger and greater than it has ever before been. See, it's super easy. Ooh, now do the prison industrial complex. Not right now. I mean, didn't I just kinda? But like, this is the kind of Christianity we need right about now, guys. Not this weird, puritanical, mammon-loving powermonger bullshit. And the fact that so many of you aren't anything like that example is really related to why y'all's numbers have been slipping lately. Because like, if you hated that example, a lot of the people that have left your congregation in the last 40 years, they loved it. I mean, it's not my fault, like, every single one of your bullshit arguments comes from Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers. I mean, like, guys, come on. Does term breath of life mean nothing? Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Now, that's Jeremiah, son. Jeremiah, the Old Testament's most millennial prophet. The guy who wished he had been aborted? That's who you're going with? Oh man, y'all bitching about putting the Christ back in Christmas. How about putting the Christ back in Christianity? Like, why don't y'all like talking about the guy who made it clear that thought crimes are a thing with the Lord? That's not what that means. And we do, heathen. That's heretic. Words have meanings, you know. I mean, well, not literally. As I was saying, heretic, he said he came not to abolish the law, but to fulfill the law. Oh, fair enough. So you only eat clean meats and, you know, don't wear mixed fabrics? Hey, hold up there, you profligate filth. Paul said all the animals were made clean after the resurrection. Is that what that was about? And no, I don't wear any clothes made with wool and linen woven together. And for that matter, who in the ninth circle of blue hell does? Yeah, you know what? That's fair. So, castle doctrine laws don't apply after sunrise. Y'all keep the Sabbath. Whenever you have an emission of semen, you wash your entire body with water. When you have your period, you and every single thing that you touch is unclean for a week. You keep the Sabbath. Shouldn't have interest charges on loans. Leave some of the crops in your field for like the poor to collect. Pay your employees daily. Cool with migrants. Keep the Sabbath. Don't cook or even keep your fires on the Sabbath. Boy, they seem pretty serious about the Sabbath thing, huh? Didn't come to abolish the law, but fourth commandment? No, we don't have to do those things anymore. Oh, how convenient. So what gives you the right to ignore everything else Mr. Worry About Your Own Bullshit first said? Mr. Heaven is everyone gets paid the same for a day's work no matter what. Mr. I know it says this in Exodus and Leviticus, but maybe that sucks. Mr. Pay your taxes and your tithe. Mr. Bring in everyone and I'll figure it out when I get back. Mr. You forgive them because the Lord forgives you. Mr. Tax collectors and prostitutes are going into the kingdom of heaven ahead of you. Mr. The proletariat should seize the means of production. Mr. Rich people hate this one weird trick. That's not what he was talking about. That's not what any of that means. Oh, you're right. I forgot. We are all in agreement about every ecumenical council, right? Right? Newsflash, dickweeds. This is America. Y'all don't get a monopoly on interpreting scripture. This is officially an antitrust case. Welcome to the real fourth grade awakening. Always bitching about California pushing lefty bullshit on the rest of the country. Like y'all ain't the California of Christianity. Why are you getting so worked up? Why are you getting so emotional? Why are you talking down to me like this? You wanna know why this Christian nationalism baby shit gets me so fucking irate? The very idea that America is now or has ever been a Christian nation is so laughable, so absurd, that it infuriates me that anybody could possibly consider it to be reality. It is America's willful ignorance distilled into its purest form, and it doesn't even stand up to the scrutiny of one single sentence. It is written, man cannot serve two masters, and you, everyone not watching this, everyone in this miserable godforsaken country knows, as well as I do, the only thing this country does now or has ever worshipped is money. Oh, some of y'all don't really give a shit about that, do you? Hey, you're not exactly being very Christ-like yourself here, buddy. I don't know, guy. I think maybe the most righteous anger I could have is, being upset about those making a profit off of the Lord. You're a wolf in sheep's clothing! Away with you, devil! Aw, does the sword of my mouth cut too deep? First off, I'm an orphan. You have to be nice to me. Second of all, I'm definitely a sheep in wolf's clothing, if anything. Thirdly, I ain't ever apologizing for reading a fucking book. Especially since y'all the ones that told me to read the book by myself while growing up. Don't get mad at me just because I actually read the damn book by myself growing up and didn't get bogged down and didn't get bored enough to quit in the endless blank begat blank sections like a lot of y'all did. It is so obvious to me how many of y'all have never read that book by yourself without someone looking over your shoulder. Please try reading that book by your damn self for once. Why aren't you worried about the plank in your own eye, friend? Oh, believe me, buddy, I'm very worried about it. Lord knows what's on everyone's hearts, right? I know what I'm about. Also, you know that that saying doesn't absolve someone of their own need for introspection, right? Everyone wants to think that they're Laodicea. Nobody ever wants to think they might be Sardis. Who are you to judge any of us? I'm actually not. Don't get it twisted. I'm talking to you like this because I love you. Because I am giving you the benefit of the doubt that you're doing this out of ignorance and not malice. Because I think that you can do better. Can be better, actually. Oh yeah? And how would you like it if someone talked to you like this? What about doing unto others as you would have them do unto you? Oh, is it not obvious that's what I'm doing? Please, by all means, if I'm ever being a hypocritical dildo, America has my permission, nay, encouragement to call me out on it strenuously. Honestly, this is what I hope my friends would do for me if I needed it. But also, now you know why it's called the Bully Pulpit. Religious podcasts, programs, whatever, hey, hit me up. I can do this all day. We can talk about, how Jesus Christ would have felt about televangelists, or how nobody understands the third commandment. Why would anybody want to have a conversation with you the way you treat people? Oh, shit, you're right, one sec. Oh, hang on. Hey, BTW, gotta motherfuck you to everyone. Sorry, TTYL, BBY, less than 3.
No, don't try that garbage with me. I'm not falling for it.
Oh, come on. I'll be a lot nicer to them than I am to you. I mean, like, are you listening to this dude? He doesn't really believe in anything, does he? Like, holy shit, are you even a real person, man?
You know, you really shouldn't intermingle politics and religion like this.
You first. Don't start nothing, it won't be nothing. But, you know, enough about all that. We got a hell of a lot to get to still, so let's continue on with a bunch of fucking populism. A bunch of fucking populism means that we need the reimbursement of generational wage theft.
Holy mouthful, what?
Generational wage theft reimbursement?
Whoa, wait, I don't want wealth redistribution.
I mean, yeah, but like, what is a government other than a system for wealth redistribution? But like, also, kids, I'm gonna need your help explaining this metaphor to your parents, because the best way I could think to explain this is everybody's gaming homework for this video is y'all gotta go play Cookie Clicker. Yes, I'm serious. It's free. Don't at me. Because you see, there's a whole lot of people out there that are born like already on their 20th ascension, and there's like 3,000 times as many people that like struggle their whole lives and never make even one heavenly chip. And also, if you don't understand the metaphor, please consult the documentary Trading Places.
Oh my, what the hell are you talking about? I knew I couldn't trust you. Look, don't take my money.
Actually, I don't think that we have to. Look, don't get me wrong. If inflation would fuck us to death, then some of these questions gotta have different answers. But I'm not necessarily convinced that taking money from billionaires is a necessary step that we have to take to correct the current scale of wealth inequality in America.
But I want to take money from billionaires.
But we the people, y'all, just take X amount, they wouldn't even feel it, is not the foolproof justification that you think that it is. Like, sure, billionaires have an obscene amount of wealth, but corporations are the mechanism that they're using to steal from us. Also, if you haven't noticed by now, I'm a different kind of cat, and I have zero interest in running a campaign that is based on being vindictive towards anybody. That said, billionaires, fuck you. You are the problem, especially those of you who are so goddamn stupid. Fuck. And short-sighted. You're literally setting us back from where we could be on the tech tree by just hoarding all the money and letting it sit in your accounts to just grow like some fucking cancer. You steal our money, now pay us back. You stole our time, now pay us back. You steal our lives, now pay us back. I mean, honestly, like, I'm sorry. I don't know how else to say it, but like, I know you're not gonna believe me, but I'm doing this for y'all too, because like, I don't really want to live in the world where I didn't get out in front of the person that wants to be Robespierre. Yeah, nah, man. Also, corpos, look, don't worry. I'm not trying to make it so you all gotta get real like job type jobs or some shit. You know, us working people just want to, you know, have kids, see them maybe, eat. I don't know. That's a weird thing. I know, eat. Maybe, I don't know, be able to buy a house without y'all buying it at foreclosure and then renting it to us at a 60% increase.
No, stop talking. I don't want my tax dollars to go to this shit.
That's not how it works. Look, explaining how money works is real boring. That's why it's at like towards the end of the video, you know, so the sunk cost fallacy.
No, I mean, I just don't think the federal government should pay for that.
Yeah, but like, there's really only two reasons that you would be against that. Like, either you don't realize that it would affect you as well, because reimbursement of generational wage theft would be for all working Americans. The only other reason is that you don't got a trust fund you're not telling us about, do you?
No, it's because you're just trying to use a different name to do reparations.
Oh my God, he said it. Oh my God, did you feel that? It was as if 300 million assholes all clenched at once and then... Okay, hang on guys, America, it's okay, hang on. We are still America. We're still not doing anything for black people, okay? It's okay. I'll prove it. Jay-Z, fuck off. This isn't for you. Okay. Yeah. This probably isn't the time or place. It's really not even about this. It's, cause I, rewrote these lines, cause, you in the news now. Oprah, fuck off. Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry, ma'am. This probably isn't the time or place, and it's really not even about this. It's really for, Doctors Oz and Phil. All right, there's gotta be some. Oh man, I am just not gonna think about, for the sake of comedy, why it's so difficult to think of more, y'all. Oh, Kendrick Lamar. I'm just fucking with you. Great job this summer. I know. You just been sitting there, waiting with bated breath. Probably thinking, GNX, to pit my... Damn! When oh when am I gonna get the approval of some smart-ass nobody from Hickdiana? Who will be audacious enough? Who will be caucasus enough? I'm here for you. Game recognizes. So anyway, it's not reparations. Sorry. We're not doing reparations. Can't do it? We're doing generational wage theft reimbursement, and it's for all working Americans. Look, reparations is so 160 years ago, and by that I mean the time for it was 160 years ago. When the radical Republicans were doing rad shit like the Department of Education or the 14th Amendment.
Should they have?
The Department of Education? Oh, yeah.
No, I mean, should they have done reparations 160 years ago?
Don't know, wasn't there.
Yeah, but would you have?
I think one of the most disingenuous things that you can tell yourself as a person is that you would be the same person that you are now at any other point in history. Whether you think it was more or less benevolent is irrelevant. The standards for what was acceptable were different, to put it mildly. The past of 160 years ago is as foreign to us as we will be to the inhabitants of this country 160 years from now. For better or for worse. And those differences widen the further in time that you go in either direction. When it comes down to it, for most of human history, you have to look at it like the decisions people made and the events that they lived through a lens of there but for the grace of God go I. But if there is such a thing as wage theft, and if there is such a thing as generational wealth, then it would stand to reason that there is such a thing as generational wage theft. And that we should probably consider this generational wage theft to be a heavily contributing factor in the current state of wealth inequality at its present scale. And that's just one of the many reasons why generational wage theft reimbursement would be for all working Americans. Now, is it my fault that there's a sizable demographic of people in this country who have a lot of wage theft in their ancestry? No. It's also not your fault, Americans. That's not your fault. You weren't there. It's not your fault.
Yeah, no shit. That's why I hate this idea.
But, I mean, just because something isn't your fault doesn't mean you can't accept responsibility for help cleaning it up. Like, if you're over at your cousin's house for dinner and they drop some shatters all over the place, like, you gonna make them walk across broken glass to clean it up, or you gonna like put your sweeping shoes on and go get the broom for them? Besides, like, no matter who you are, this would be for your kids and grandkids too. Like, you know, in 20, 25 generations, you know, every one of our descendants still living in America is gonna have both a slave and a slaver in their ancestry. Not always because it's the same branch on the tree.
Oh my god, this is white erasure!
No, it's the same math that says if you have European ancestry that Charlemagne is your grandfather. And okay, look, maybe I am a fucking idiot, but I'm fairly certain that the master race actually looks like this. I mean, think about it. Let's say one night you're feeling a little yeehaw, you get a little that $2 wild, start doing some ghosty shit, you know how it goes. The federal government finds you, catches you in the act, what happens? It's your ass. Right? But consider this. Let's say Kaiba Corp has a corporate policy where once a week they break into one American home, ensure that they take the breadwinner alive, crucify their family, kick the dog in the face, tattoo the company logo over every square inch of your body, give you 2 self-inflicted stab wounds to the back, and then, you know, like, dump you naked and frozen in the middle of Times Square. What happens to Kaiba Corp? Like, sure, kidnappers, crucifiers, dog kickers, hopefully, malevolent tattoo artists, you know, they're fucked. But what happens to Kaiba Corp? It's either like it goes down like Enron and all of us pay for it, or it's you know, yeah, I mean, we just keep finding them $2 million a body and they just keep paying it. I don't know. I mean, we haven't been charging them for bodies we know they didn't even do, and they just keep paying it and saying cost of doing business. Damnedest thing I ever seen. Shame we can't do anything about it. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that, like, they've been, you know, trying to get us riled up over some bullshit for years, centuries. But please understand how far they went with their psyop to try to put us in a position to get got. See, first they stole West Africans' ethnicities. It was highly profitable and there was much rejoicing. But, you know, there's a whole lot of, all due respect, peasant level people out there at the time, and, you know, they're getting paid, sure, but it ain't a whole lot. And if they're not too careful, some of them peasants might start thinking, hey, you know, we're not too different from slaves, are we? You know, they ain't want us thinking that too much. You know, there ain't no money in a thinky peasantry. So they stole Africans' ethnicities, declared they were black, the bad color. And, you know, they weren't before that, but the meme stuck, and in the same stroke, they attempted to steal Europeans' ethnicities, say that they were white, the good color. Don't you think that that's being a little too simplistic? Oh God, yes. But to those thieves, I can say, kiss my ass and up yours. I'm ethnically Irish and culturally American. The greatest possible combination of fuck your king and don't tell me what to think, known to mankind. I've been telling Nazi punks to fuck off pretty much my natural life at this point. Don't fuck with us boneheads. Bad optics, you know. Getting your shit pushed in by a bunch of real American patriots just trying to feed the needy. But alright, we've been on this enough, haven't we? Alright, back to a bunch of fucking populism. Alright, let's see, who do I piss off next?
Hey, no, hang on. Wait, I have a question still. What if I actually do want to do a reparations?
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's probably on me. I probably did make it sound like the 14th Amendment was a exclusively rad shit. But you might want to go read Section 4 again, because these dicks definitely have. But you bring up a good point. Look, I understand that achieving what I've already presented to you is going to be difficult enough, but if you look at history, then you'll see that as an institution, the Supreme Court has never let anything fun or cool happen in its entire lifetime. So we're gonna have to work constitutionally. That's right, I'm sure you figured it out because I kind of alluded to it twice already, but yeah, we're gonna have to do it the hard way. Holy shit, have y'all ever noticed how Congress is just absolutely shut the fuck up about ever doing anything constitutionally ever since that one absolute mad lad found a 200-year-old amendment and we passed it so that they couldn't just give themselves raises? Yeah, I think about that a lot. But you know, if we're gonna go that far, I think the best way to start would be to fire all of these assholes and just start fucking over. I mean, they were picked by the people who were majority bought and paid for, right? Okay, look. Of all of the things on this list that I'm entirely too serious about, this one is the least. We could also, you know, pack the courts FDR style, and to be honest, if we're doing shit constitutionally, they can just eat shit, right? But I just... Come on, America. It would be so funny if Mitch McConnell went through all of that hard work politicking for all of those years, and then finally at last a bunch of working stiffs come in and just are like, no, we don't like this sucks, sorry. Come on, you know, that'd be hilarious. Don't give me that shit. But okay, regardless, at a baseline, I think a bunch of fucking populism means that we need congressional term limits, Supreme Court term lengths, age limits for all three branches. Can't get inaugurated, sworn in, take office, whatever. Cut it off at 76, off the top of my head. I don't know. We can talk about it later, but please. Probably get rid of the Electoral College. Like, does anybody like this fucking thing? And we should probably fix the now very widely publicized loopholes in our transfers of power procedure. A bunch of fucking populism means we gotta vastly increase the number of representatives in the House. I'm not saying we gotta do that 50,000 citizens per representative horseshit, but like, we might want to double at least, you know, the amount of representatives we got right now. Hey, whoa, hang on a second. Won't increasing the number of representatives so drastically give rural folk way less representation in the House? And do you see what I'm doing right now? If I actually got elected through this cockamamie bullshit, and if America likewise voted a bunch of other working jerks in with me to fix the federal fucking government, and it fucking all worked by screaming about it in the loudest way possible, do you want someone to just be able to come up behind us and do it all again? I'm not sure I do. At the very least, I don't think we should leave the door so open to it. Congress gets their shit together and they do it. They, their regular bullshit politician fucking selves. Fine. Then, at that point, they can justify keeping it the way that it is. But to me, if this shit I'm proposing works, we really wouldn't have to do it a second time the same way anyway. And then I think, I kind of think that we should probably do something about this. About the states? What? Oh, no. This isn't a map of the states. This is a map of the districts of the Senate. Every one of these districts is represented by 2 senators, per the Constitution. Basically, the Senate districts are deliberately gerrymandered in favor of less populated states. But, even for some deliberately gerrymandered bullshit, it's pretty super sucktastic. Yeah, okay. Do you have any idea how hard it would be to get rid of the Senate? Duh. No kidding. Like, America really wants to get that down and dirty with it? Like, y'all really want to get buck wild enough to get elected to your state houses? Cool, yeah, go for it. In fact, I encourage it strenuously. Do not ignore your state legislature election possibilities. But, that sounds like way too much effort for something that I highly doubt we're going to get all 50 states to sign off on. But it's DEI for rural states, and we hate that now, right? So I think we can change these districts to better reflect regional realities and help give Americans better representation in the Senate. And I think we can do that while ensuring that every American is still represented by 2 senators. Let me give you an example. This is a map of the greater Chicago area. It's in 3 states. So it's split between 6 senators. So do you think that they can effectively represent this area in any meaningful way? I sure don't. So what if there were, say, 1 senator that represented the whole area, and then 3 or 5 who overlap in, smaller sections but have their own overall area to represent? That kind of a map would certainly look more complicated, than this one, but figuring out who you're voting for wouldn't be any harder, especially since you'd still only be voting for 1 every 2 out of 3 election cycles. And now I have to give another bigger shout out to Dr. Professor McCready. Oh, so some commie professor poisoned your mind. I assure you, I did not get that impression at all. But let this be a lesson to you other loudmouth lefties out there. Yeah, you can learn a lot from them, Roosevelt conservatives, if you let yourself. All right, fine, but I still have another question. What, about the Senate thing? No, it's a question I still got from earlier. Please tell me it's not about generational wage theft reimbursement. So you're really just gonna cut people checks and that's your response? Like, just increasing the welfare state. Isn't the national debt high enough? Holy fucking shit, no, I mean... Look, I talked about the New Deal style jobs program up front on purpose, so please don't. Second, I said we're doing how money works later. Could you please stop trying to derail me? I'm very whatever. And D, look, yes, they are band-aids. They are stylistically designed to be that. Quick fixes. That's because actual change is difficult. The progress is not a straight line. It takes time. If we want to ensure that future generations are more protected than ourselves from these dragons willing to do or say anything or to pay anybody to amass more and more wealth, consequences be damned, then it is our duty now to begin to lay the plans and determine the strategy for the winning of a lasting peace and the establishment of an American standard of living higher than ever before known. We cannot be content, no matter how high that general standard of living may be, if some fraction of our people, whether it be 1/3 or 1/5 or 1/10, is ill-fed, ill-clothed, ill-housed, and insecure. This republic had its beginning and grew to its present strength under the protection of certain inalienable political rights. And as our nation has grown in size and stature, however, as our industrial economy expanded, these political rights proved inadequate to assure us equality in the pursuit of happiness. We have come to the clear realization of the fact that true individual freedom cannot exist without economic security and independence. In our day, these economic truths have become accepted as self-evident. We have accepted, so to speak, a second Bill of Rights, under which a new basis of security and prosperity can be established for all, regardless of station, race, or creed. Among these are the right to a useful and remunerative job, the right to earn enough to provide adequate food and clothing and recreation, the right of every farmer to raise and sell his products at a return which will give him and his family a decent living, the right of every businessman, large and small, to trade in an atmosphere of freedom from unfair competition and domination by monopolies, at home or abroad.
The right of every family to a decent home.
The right to adequate protection from the economic fears of old age, sickness, accident, and unemployment. And the right to a good education. All of these rights spell security. For unless there is security here at home, there cannot be lasting peace in the world. Holy shit, brother. How the fuck is that, more relevant today than it was 80 years ago? And I know he wasn't going to do it constitutionally, but at this point, I think we might want to consider it. So, maybe do it like federal law first and then see how everyone feels about an amendment after? Probably, yeah, we should probably do that. Oh, okay, goddamn. Have I hit everything on this list yet? Alright, a bunch of fucking populism. Am I missing anything? I need a selfish one, don't I? Oh, yeah, okay, hang on. I didn't actually prepare for this. Free ponies. I'm just messing with you, Mr. Supreme. I'm not gonna step on your toes like that. Fugazi. Y'all gotta do something. I wouldn't have that kind of authority, would I? Fuck it. Might as well. We'll just do Medicare for all. I got you. Oh, man. You thought we weren't going to do it, huh? Oh, man, the look on your face. I couldn't see it. I'm looking at a phone, so. Yeah, single-payer health insurance is the eensy bit of socialism to which I alluded earlier. But to be honest with you, America, this one is the personal one for me because, oh, man, honestly, if I lose one more person to something that's really just totally treatable because they were too, fucking terrified of medical debt to go get it treated when it was very fucking treatable, oh man, I'm not gonna be happy. And clearly, some of you are way more unhappy than I'm gonna be. Oh my god, what the fuck are we doing to ourselves, America? Hang on, wait a minute. Bodily autonomy? Medicare? I figured you out, you piece of shit. You want my kid to be trans. Holy fucking shit. This might be the greatest distraction of our natural lives. And not only does none of this shit fucking matter, but it's just another fucking reboot. It's just fucking Gay Panic 2, Electric Boogaloo. Oh, you stay away from our kids. Please. By all means, keep your children at home. They're way too loud and I can't deal with it. I'm sorry. But they're coming back from school trans. I know, right? They're coming back from school gay all over again. Oh my god. Like, holy shit, does Disney own all these storylines too? What the fuck? Oh man. You think they just give out hormones like candy? The fucking school nurse won't even give out baby aspirin unless like a parent signs 3 waivers and sends the baby aspirin from home. The fuck schools y'all's kids going to? How are you so uninvolved that's even a possibility? Is it because you're overworked? But trans women in sports. Okay, look, America. This is the human embodiment of autism talking now. I don't really get why y'all give so much of a shit about sports, like especially kids sports, right? Like with kids sports, we're like basically broadly the same size and strength up to a certain age, and I mean, kids sports is really just about teaching them teamwork, right? And why anyone cares who wins and who loses outside of like encouraging them to work harder? It's beyond my dumbass. And there's only like 40 trans women in like all of college sports, right? And like there's like tens of thousands of athletes. Plus like those are private institutions. And I mean, like, speaking of, all those records from the MLB steroid era still stand, right? Look, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm getting distracted in my own fucking video. Dudes, none of this shit is fucking important. Like, do you need to hear this? Trans women can be women, and you can have a preference for women with wombs. That was always allowed. You can be a kid and a squid. Look, why are we focusing on what we agree on? To quote America's foremost political consultant, Mr. Ford, really, all Americans want is a hot meal, cold beer, warm pussy, and a place to take a shit with a door on it. I mean, you don't want the dog looking at you. No, shut up and answer the question. What is a woman? Oh, fuck off. What is a bathroom? A bathroom is a fucking closet with a toilet and a sink. Does it really need the gender on it? Well, you know, it could also be like a hallway with toilet closets on one side and the sinks on the other. And, you know, they got those sinks that, you know, they attach to the toilet. It drains right into the back of it. We don't really even need the hallway or the gender on it, do we? You know what? Sink's optional too. I mean, like, you gotta go bad enough. You find a toilet, but you can't find a sink. You're not gonna pass up that toilet. Like, shit. I mean, like, it could also be like fucking hole in the ground, right? Or, I mean, like, it could be an outhouse. Yeah. Don't even need the toilet. Or, you know what? You don't even need the house. You could just be out and like a hole in the ground. That works too. I mean, if you needed to. You know what else works if you needed to? I wonder if, you know, maybe one time you were unlucky enough that a bathroom was between, you know, the two passenger doors of your car on the side of the highway. If you need it to be. See? Being reductive is easy. Y'all act like mind viruses don't affect you. Don't you remember when the greatest living philosopher known to mankind, Tyler Durden, said, "You are not your fucking genitals"? Guys, do you know how much they're making off of us doing this? A fraction of a pittance of what they're not paying us. This is not a real issue. They just needed to be one. Oh my god, I mean, come on, guys. Dudes take hormones all the time to keep their hair, you know, have bigger muscles, better boners. Nobody bats an eye. I take the girl hormones because I think big boners and muscles is a bunch of gay shit. They want everyone to lose their fucking minds about it. Wait, what? Oh no! America's most based trans? Whoa, what a fucking nightmare! That's right, America. And I know you're wondering, so just for the record, my pronouns are I'm a person and my name is Anakin. That's how you do a funny pronouns joke, America. Gender and sex are the same thing. Look, fine. You know what? You can have this one. Sure. Okay. You know, No, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. Making unilateral decisions for the group is not very cash money of me. But this is what they want, right? Okay, so fine. You win. Sex is equal to gender. Fine. Have it your way. So when people express their gender, they're expressing one or more aspects of their sex because they're equal. So Civil Rights Act of 64, which is enforcing the 14th Amendment, which is itself doubling down on the First Amendment. Can we move on now, please? No, because it's really about federal tax dollars. Oh my God, fine. We'll do the fucking money already. Look, the money you pay in taxes, your taxes, do not pay for anything. Holy shit, y'all. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, this is what pisses me off the most about this asshole. Aunt Thatcher, convinced a lot of fucking people that the government is run like a business. And with all due respect, and I'm trying real hard right now, believe you me, that's beyond absurd. The federal government is not a business. The federal government is a government. The federal government issues its own currency. It fucking prints money. The government prints money and then they pay for things so that you have access to the money. The government has to pay for the things first because then otherwise, like, how else does the money exist inside of the system? Money exists to pay taxes. Taxes exist to ensure that we all are in some way working within and for the betterment of the society that we live in. And when you have a fiat currency like we do, the US dollar, the taxes exist also to prevent inflation from fucking the economy to death by decreasing the amount of dollars that exist in total. Yeah, and those dollars need to be on the gold standard. Why? You got enough gold to cover the insurance bond on our debt that is the US fucking federal military? Yeah, cause the military's woke now. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, tell me you, don't know anything about the military without telling me. Alright, cool. You know, fucking military's been woke since at least the 60s. The fuck does that word even mean anymore anyway? You know you can just read why the military does all that shit, right? It's in the fucking manuals. You paid for them, or at least they're public domain. Like, go fucking read them. They're fucking everywhere. They're real easy to find, and they're real easy to read because they're written in plain fucking English, so you can read them even if you use crayons. You know the military realized they needed to integrate 10 years before the rest of the fucking country did? Because Korea wasn't going that well? If the US fucking federal military says they need something for operational security and the national fucking defense, they probably need it for operational security and the national fucking defense. I mean, unless you're not trying to fuck with the national defense, are you? I mean, besides, you think that's your money in your account? Yeah. Oh yeah? You remember when I asked you what is a government other than a system for redistributing wealth? Yeah. Does that money got your name on it? What? Whose name is on it? Oh no! Whose name is on the money, America? Oh my God! That's right! The United States of America! Money is socialism, America! It was socialism all along! So y'all tell me, why the fuck are these assholes allowed to keep so much of the fruits of our fucking labor? Fuck! Oh, Jesus. Look, taxes are complicated, all right? And complicated things are scary. But, that means that keeping taxes complicated and scary is politically advantageous. There's no reason that anybody making, $400,000 a year and less should even be doing their own fucking taxes, let alone paying them. But then they would have to make sure that they paid their fair share. The national debt is complicated, which means keeping the national debt scary is politically advantageous. The debt ceiling is a congressionally self-imposed limit that hinders the federal government from helping the economy grow. But the term debt ceiling is scary, which means that keeping the debt ceiling is politically advantageous. It is so much cheaper to pay for this shit as a government than it would be if they were private institutions. Congress could just pass a law fucking today that says Social Security is paid no matter if that trust is empty or not. And the whole problem would be solved. But then it wouldn't be scary. There is never any reason that the federal government cannot pay its bills. Fucking ever. I mean, unless, you're trying to fuck up the economy or something. I mean, you're not trying to fuck up the economy, are you? Look, I know y'all are out there in the government, in the military, and in Congress who are holding the line for democracy, the republic, the Constitution. And to be perfectly honest, thank you. We appreciate you. We see you. Let's see if we can't rouse the cavalry, huh? Also, to those in Congress specifically, if you're looking for a shiny new platform, how about a bunch of fucking populism? Running for socialism as a Republican, you're the enemy from within he was warning us about. Actually, if me and a bunch of other working assholes get elected to fix the federal fucking government, that means we the people voted for it. And if we do shit constitutionally, then that means 3/4 of America voted for it. And all of that would make it literally what the founding fathers wanted. And on that note, I think we should go and make these dicks and this one extremely based individual fucking proud. Alrighty. So, why did I make this? Why do I think that the time is now? Right now, local networks across the nation are being strengthened, built. This is time we can also use to make wider connections that can lay the groundwork to be able to coalesce the broader local community efforts of some of these local groups around a national push for working class candidates. And to that end, we will have to, as early as possible, get ourselves into position to help those in need. And the best way to do that is to grow and maintain every line of communication that we can. Now, since the election, I've been hearing a lot of chatter out there. There's a lot of you lefties who are fucking pissed off, and I get it, but there's a not insignificant number of you out there that are saying, they voted for this, let them have it, or fuck them, leave them to their fate. And okay, so let me get this straight. You think that shit is about to hit the fan, and your response, your mentality is, fuck them? Leave them to their fate? What the fuck is the matter with you? Lying down like a bunch of goddamn dogs is what they want us to do. They want us to die and die like flies. You want to just give up after one election? We're the motherfucking United States of America, asshole. United in our bonds as Americans. Every one of us is part of a symbiont circle. What happens to one of us affects all of us. You must understand this. I think we're all aware there's been a lot of hateful shit out there lately said about transgendered Americans. And I, for one, will be responding by loving my enemies and doing good to those who hate me. Have we not come to such an impasse in the modern world that we must love our enemies or else? The chain reaction of evil, hate begetting hate, wars producing more wars, must be broken, or we shall be plunged into the dark abyss of annihilation. So if you're deeply upset with someone because of your political differences, then it's time to learn forgiveness. If you're not speaking with someone because of decisions made in the past, then it's time to learn forgiveness. If you're deeply upset with yourself because of decisions made in the past, then it's time to learn forgiveness. Forgiveness. It's not about just hand-waving away whatever it is that you find unacceptable. It's about not motherfucking somebody over history when they show up in the present ready to do the fucking work. It's about giving your loved ones food and shelter when they come to you in need. It's about giving yourself permission to get involved in the fight for our economic freedom. Because if you choose to harden your heart out of spite, if you allow yourself to succumb to your anger, then you are no better than whatever it is that you think of them. If we want to consider ourselves to be building a better future, building a better America, we have to stop living in the past. No one will do it for us. We'll just have to fix ourselves. It's time to put on our fucking big boy pants, America. It's time to do the real fucking hard work. And our first and greatest test of strength is caring. Above all else, if we have the means to help those around us, then we have a responsibility. Because if this great governmental punt really kicks off and the shit hits the fucking fan, that's when the fucking blame game can start. And that's when things can get actually bad. And that is the crux of our moment in history. And we will need to be prepared. We will need to be there to direct that blame where it deserves to be. And we will need someone for people to turn to. Someone that isn't just out for them fucking selves. Someone who is uninterested in accumulating and maintaining personal wealth or power. Someone who is uninterested in entertaining bullshit distractions and who will never tell you that you should hate or live in fear of our fellow human beings. And for them to be able to look at that person and say, yeah, you know what? Why the fuck not? You've heard it said by now, I'm sure, when fascism comes to America, it will be wrapped in the flag and carrying the cross. And with all due respect to Mr. Lewis, fuck that. When socialism takes root in America, it will flourish in the light of the New Testament and bear fruits in the Constitution. It can happen here. And that's why I'm Miles McGlasson, and I'm running for President of the United States of America. Let's get to work. Nobody does it better.